This hand might be pretty insane. I have to see what direction we want to go with it. If we need to Thought Seize on turn 1, or if we can Expedition Map. But pretty much, we are one 2-mana land away, either an Eldrazi Temple or an Ayavugan from casting turn 3 Conduit of Ruin. And then we're not that far away from backing the, and then we Conduit of Ruin potentially into Ulamog. We'll see. It really depends on what our opponent's up to. Forest, eh? This is most likely Infect. Another Expedition Map. Well, this isn't ideal, but I think we need to Thought Seize here. If this is Infect. Oh, and they don't even have... Oh, they do. Well, I guess we take the Vines. We might end up in a position where we need to Expedition Map for a Ghost Quarter to try to kill this Ink Moth, which right now is only creature, Infect creature, our opponent has. There's the Ink Moth. Gets in for 1, non-infect with Hierarch. Inquisition. Let's... How do we do this? Let's lead on Inquisition. Get rid of the Apostle's Blessing. Ooh, they have a Rancor too? Alright, take the Apostle's Blessing, follow that up by Expedition Map, pass the turn. Then next turn we're set up to crack the Expedition Map, use that to get a Ghost Quarter, most likely, and kill the Ink Moth. Now that our opponent doesn't have any protection left. This does slow us down. I mean, we could just try to get our stuff going, but Ink Moth's a pretty fast clock, and since it's the only Infect creature, it is pretty tempting just to kill it right here. Alright, let's see what we draw. Oh, we just draw the Ghost Quarter. Well, that makes it easy. In that case, we'll just play Heartless Summoning, play Ghost Quarter, and just kill the Ink Moth right away. Put our opponent down to 0 Infect creatures. We're not especially worried about getting beaten down by Dryad Arbor and such. Breeding Pool. Tapped. If our opponent just draws another Infect creature, though, we could be in trouble. Alright, gets in with the Dryad Arbor for 4. But our clock is going to be pretty fast, and we're going to have blockers. Another Expedition Map, so let's crack Expedition Map, get the Ayavugan, play Ayavugan, play another Expedition Map, and just ship the turn for now. Next turn we can play our Conduit of Ruin, which can... Ooh, Blighted Agent. That's scary. Alright, we take 4. If they have pump spells for Blighted Agent... Alright, how do we do this? We can... I guess we can crack Expedition Map, get an Eldrazi Temple, and then, yeah, crack Expedition Map, get Eldrazi Temple. Then we can play Eldrazi Temple, use Eldrazi Temple to cast Conduit of Ruin. We get to search for a Ulamog. And do we have any Ghost Quarters left? We do have 1 left. Alright. So we have an Ulamog on top. Then we get to Inquisition. Make sure our opponent doesn't have a crazy pump spell. Take the Vines of the Vastwood that would have been lethal. And pass the turn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The trouble is... Oh! Really? Alright, our opponent drew the 3rd Vines. Wow. Alright. Well, our opponent drew exactly what they needed there. Oh, so against this deck, we probably want Go for the Throats and Murderous Cut. We can get rid of... What? All Is Dust seems really slow. and I guess a Conduit of Ruin. Do we want Needle for Inkmoth is the other question. Maybe? Go for the Throat doesn't hit it. We might need Pithing Needle as well, at least a couple copies. And what do we get rid of here? I guess a Conduit of Ruin, Ulamog, and a Heartless Summoning. Alright, game 2 against Infect. And, well, I guess this is fine. We don't have any discard, which is slightly annoying, but we can get down a pretty fast Conduit of Ruin. And we do have a Go for the Throat. Alright, nothing for our opponent. Wow, into Heartless Summoning. Alright, let's Heartless Summoning. Well, we can get down an insanely fast Conduit of Ruin. Turn 3 Conduit of Ruin. And then can we turn 4 Ulamog? Not quite, I don't think. Untap Breeding Pool, eh? Nature's Claim Heartless Summoning. Sure. Well, that slows us down, but only slightly. Eldrazi Temple. Do we want to just Ghost Quarter this Inkmoth? It slows us down a turn from playing our Conduit of Ruin. It would be nice to have it off the battlefield, though. Let's just play an Eye of Ugin and pass. I don't think our opponent can actually kill us this turn with Inkmoth. That would be pretty impressive. They do suit up the Inkmoth. Gets in for 1 Infect. Ulamog. Can we take our chances one more turn? We can Eldrazi Temple, 1, 2, 3, 4, Conduit of Ruin. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana. So yes, we will use this. We'll get an Ulamog. Pass the turn. I mean, this is basically it. Either our opponent can kill us, deal 9 poison this turn, or we're going to get to exile a bunch of stuff with Ulamog and likely win the game. So we'll see. Twisted Image draws a card. Power and toughness is the same, so it doesn't really change anything. Alright, can you kill us, opponent? Can you kill us? Inkmoth. 9 poison's a lot in one turn. Become Immense, though, if they have like Might of Old Kroza and Become Immense, that would get it done. But that's the risk we took with playing it this way. We could have just played Ghost Quarter and tried to kill Inkmoth that way. Might of Old Kroza. Do they also have the Become Immense? They go to combat. No blocks. We can't block. Waiting to see if this graveyard lights up with Delve being paid. That's the question. Oh, alright. So we survive. And that means we get to Ghost Quarter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ulamog will target Inkmoth and a land. And that does it. Whoo! Alright, our risk paid off. I think we keep it like this for game 3. Alright, here we are with game 3 against Infect. Oh, we will see. We have Thoughtseizes and Conduits of Ruin. Does our opponent have an Infect creature that we can hit with our Thoughtseize? Hopefully the answer is not Inkmoth. Alright, well, they have an Ink Moth, but we got rid of the Blighted Agent, and the only non-land card left in their hand is Apostle's Blessing. Oh my god. Oh, the story of the match. That's the second time that our opponent has drawn exactly the card we thought seized. Oh my goodness. And we even drew the Needle. This is already a hard matchup, but having our opponent draw the card we thought seized the very next draw step twice in a row is gonna kill us. Another Hierarch. So our opponent can attack for 3 with the Blighted Agent, and they have something to stop our removal. They have Apostle's Blessing. So we are basically a pump spell away from dying. On the other hand, we drew an Eye of Ugin. So when you get to cast a Conduit of Ruin, put an Ulamog on top. We do need the Ulamog. Well, if our opponent doesn't draw a pump spell in the next 2 draw steps, then I think we win this game. If they do, then of course we're going to lose. So that is the question. We need our opponent to whiff on pump spells for 2 turns. Because their Apostle's Blessing isn't going to stop our... And they draw it. Alright, well, that's the game.